Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for joining. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Natalie, and if you haven't yet subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and also press the notification bell so you can receive a message every time I upload a new video. For today's makeup look, I've created this really beautiful lifted makeup look, which is something that has been very requested, and throughout the tutorial I'm showing lots of tips and tricks and techniques on how to create more lifted eyes, more sculpted and more lifted cheeks. I'm sure these tips and tricks will be very useful in your daily makeup, so if you'd like to see how to recreate it and get all of these new ideas, just continue watching. So as you can see today, I've created already one side of my face so you can see how the result looks, just to prove the power of makeup and how amazing it can look when applied properly and using the right techniques. When trying to create a lifted makeup look, I would suggest you have your hair in a ponytail or any hairstyle that makes it go upwards, and that way it will just really help to give a little bit of a lift. So this is definitely one of these things that will make a massive difference without even starting the makeup. Starting with the brows, which is probably the most important part of your face, because this is the one element that will really help lift the eyes and just make the illusion that the eyes are bigger. So I'll start by using this product, and it's called Soap Brows. Now, in case you don't have this product, you can also use the Pears soap, which is absolutely fine. It's going to do exactly the same. And taking some makeup water spray, or you can just use normal water. I'm spraying it inside and taking a spoolie brush, and I'll be pushing the brows upward, and that will really help to lift them up and make them stay that way. So it's great if you have the issue of your hairs always going down. This product is going to be a game changer for you if you have this issue. Then taking my MAC Lingering pencil and just putting it in the areas that I need the most, just to give a better shape. I have a few gaps around the perimeter of my brows, so I'll be filling this in with very light strokes, just so it can fill in and look a lot bigger. And especially when you're trying to create a more lifted look, you want to really focus on the arch. So you can even draw the arch slightly higher than where it is, so it can just help give the illusion of a more lifted brow. And I'm also filling in some in the front so it wouldn't look empty. But because I have quite a strong brow, I would suggest, if you have the same, to just apply less product than what you think you need. And now with the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade number 3, I love this product. It's great. It's a mascara brush, and I'll just apply some again onto the outer part of my brows just to fill in some color, focusing this product on the outer part of the brow. I'll start by priming my eyes using my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in the shade 2C. And I love this concealer. I use it a lot as a base. And then with the Sephora Airbrush Concealer Brush, literally just melting that on. Next, using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Versatile Chestnut, I'll start to sketch out a line, starting from the outer corner and lifting it quite high like that, going towards the crease. Now don't worry if this looks messy and it's uneven. This is all going to be blended out. I'll also take some on the center of the lid. With the 213 from MAC, I'll be blending that out. So starting from the center, lifting it up and taking what we've applied in the corner and really melting it in with the brush. Now as you're blending, you just open your eyes like that so you can see. And I'm taking it up until the crease and maybe just slightly higher. And this specific pencil has a very soft formula, so it would glide on very easily. Going back with the pencil, I'll be putting some in the crease and almost creating like a V in the outer corner, so that way it can just give us an initial shape that we can work with, and it will also work as a base for the rest of the shadows. And again, eyes open so you can see exactly where you're applying it. So this time I'm just blending it just higher than the crease, tiny bit. And now anything left on the brush, I'll just smooth it out. Now taking my favorite MAC eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Swiss Chocolate. This is probably my favorite MAC eyeshadow. It's a really gorgeous warm brown with a little bit of a red undertone. Now going back with my MAC brush, I'll take this exactly on the same area where we applied the pencil. So this will just help to set the pencil but also make it a little bit stronger. This will create some depth, and this specific color is great because it has a little bit of a red undertone, so it will help to brighten a lot of eyes. And now taking a little bit more onto the crease and outwards. And now using the Bobbi Brown Black Plum eyeshadow. Again, this is one of my absolute favorites. And taking this tiny brush, this is from EYESHADOW and it's the number 08. And then looking down, and I'll be focusing this just onto the lash line. I mean very close to the lashes, just so it can give an illusion for eyeliner. And I'll be putting it almost until halfway through to the lashes. This specific eyeshadow again is very pigmented, and it's a gorgeous color, especially if you want something that will define your eyes but you want to avoid black. So as you come more towards the beginning of the eyes, you want to have your eyes open so you can see exactly where you're applying the product. You'll have to take your time with this step because it's a little bit harder. And now as we're going towards the end, I'll be winging this out and upwards. Again, then you can open your eyes so you can see how much you're extending this eyeshadow up. Next, I'm taking another great EYESHADOW brush. This is the number 05. Back to the Bobbi Brown Black Plum shadow. And I'll come towards the outer corner here and smoke it out even more, so it can look kind of blended and smoked out. Whenever you do eyeliner and then you smoke it out, this technique will always make the eyes bigger. So this is exactly what we're doing here. Now make sure you have your eyes open so you can see how far you're taking this eyeshadow and how far you're blending it, and then we can always go back and apply more if we want. But you can see already what a difference this does to the eyes. I mean, very easily, and it's very soft. It gives a really great look. Then going back with the MAC 213 and just softening the whole thing in the crease, and I'm also blending around the Black Plum just on the outer part of the lid. So you see, a lot of the times when you blend, you don't need to add any extra product. Just with whatever is left on the brush is usually more than enough to blend out and soften the rest of the makeup. Another really great eyeshadow is this one from Bobbi Brown called Antique Rose, and it's a really beautiful cool tone pink. And using it with a Real Techniques brush, that way applying it onto the lower part of the eyes is going to really help make the eyes look bigger and even wider. Take a few layers of that, and as you're blending it a little bit lower, this will help to make the eyes look a little bit bigger and wider. And I'm also connecting it to the top part and just extending it, so that way it just really helps open up the eyes from the outer corner and make them look bigger. For a tight line, I'll take the MAC Fluid Line and I love this fluid line. It's my favorite. Using the MAC 212 brush. I really like this brush to tight line. With my eyes open, I'll be placing the brush just below the lashes. This will help fill in any gaps there and will instantly make the eyes look more defined but without making it look heavy. This technique is great, but I would say if you haven't done it before, just take your time with this step because it can be a little bit more tricky. Also taking a little bit on the brush and then looking slightly down, placing that onto the top part of the lashes, almost creating like a line but very, very softly. So I'm almost just pushing it in the lashes. And going back with my Wayne Goss number 05 with an empty brush and just really softening this line that we created. And as we did earlier, I'll be taking it towards the outer part. And now to make it just slightly darker, I'll take the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions in the shade Black and going back to the Wayne Goss number 08. And just towards the very, very outer corner, I'm creating a sharper kind of winged eyeliner. Now the reason why I'm doing this with the eyeshadow because it will be much easier to smudge and it will look a lot softer and very, very effective. Now using a pale beige color, I'll take this one from the Makeup Atelier T19 Wood Pink eyeshadow palette, and with a big fluffy brush, this is the Suku one, I'll be just lightly tapping that on the beginning of the eye, just very, very little because we don't want to make it super, super wide there, and whatever is left just into the inner corner and just a little bit underneath the brow bone. Now, one of the other things that helps to make the eyes look bigger is using shimmers, but for today I'll use one of the most beautiful shimmers that I really, really like. It's from Bobbi Brown and it's called Ballet Pink. As you can see, I have it on the other eye and it's very, very beautiful in real life. And just using my fingers, I'll be tapping it in. Anything that is more shiny and shimmery is going to help bring more light, so therefore it will make things look a little bit bigger. So especially the lid, we want to make it stand out as we have darkened the outer corner. So you can see just putting it in the center and slightly just higher like that, and it looks so gorgeous. And then for just a stronger highlight, I'll be taking the pale shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita palette and the MAC 219S brush. This would be just to bring even more illumination to the inner corner, and we'll just make it pop out a little bit more and just a little bit also underneath the brow. If you want, you can use your highlighter there if you don't have a sparkly eyeshadow, but this is very, very light and it's not too metallic-y, so great for what we're trying to achieve today. Now going back with my Bobbi Brown Black Plum and my Wayne Goss number 08 brush and just putting that on the outer part and connecting it with the top. So this will just help make it look a little bit more defined, and only make sure you keep it until the middle. And then I'm taking back my Real Techniques brush, the one we applied Antique Rose, and I'm starting to smudge that down. So the softer this looks in that area, the nicer it's going to look and the wider it's going to make the eyes look. Now for mascara, I'll take the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes, and this mascara is great, and this is the step that will really help make a massive difference. So make sure you take your time applying the mascara, starting from the bottom part and really coating every single lash. And as you can see, the effect is great. Just really helps coat every single lash really, really beautifully. And it gives a very dramatic look, which is exactly how I like the mascara. And now using this eyelash that I had from before, and I will be cutting it in half just to use the outer part of the eyelash just to give a little bit of extra drama towards the outer corner, and this will just help give more a lifted effect to the lashes. You can also buy half lashes, and I know that Ardell definitely do that, but I just had this lash from another makeup look, so I thought why not cut it and just use it again. Just added a little bit of this duo glue to the lash and waiting a few seconds before I apply it. And now that the glue has dried down, I'll be applying it just towards the outer corner and with my fingers just pushing it down. Moving on to the face, I'll start by using the corrector. This is the Sisley Phyto Eclat in the shade number 2. A really beautiful corrector color, a little bit peachy, so it will help to correct the coloring underneath the eyes. The Sephora Airbrush Pro Brush just to help to blend this out. And a corrector is really good to use under concealer because it's going to help correct the color so we can use less concealer. Now using the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade 2C and going back with the same brush and literally just tapping that in. And this brush is perfect. It hugs the under eyes extremely well and just use a little bit at a time. And for some extra brightness, I'll take the MAC Prep and Prime in the shade Light Boost. This is a yellowy corrector, so I just apply it on top of concealer, literally 2 dots, and the color of it will just help to even brighten the under eye even more. So putting it as low as possible just to give a little bit of light and illumination to that part. And as we want to create more of a lifted effect, I'll also apply some onto the top part of the cheekbones, and that will also help to create more of a brighter look and lift the face up. I'll give a little bit of warmth to the face by adding also a little bit of shine at the same time using this powder from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Radiant Light and MAC 168 brush, and I'll just focus that onto the cheekbone so it can add a little bit of warmth, but it will also add a tiny bit of glow because this specific powder is not matte, so it helps to blur the skin, also give a tiny bit of warmth and some shimmer that is very, very delicate and you couldn't really detect on the skin, but on the overall effect it looks absolutely gorgeous. Now taking the Benefit Hoola bronzer and the Makeup Forever 150 brush, and I'm pushing the Hoola bronzer into the very hollows of the cheeks and melting this with the other bronzer that we applied, just to give it a little bit more depth. And this shape of this brush is just perfect because it's small but it's a little bit dense, but you can see you can get really good detail with that brush. Now for blusher, I'll take this really beautiful blush palette again from Hourglass. It's called the Ambient Lightning Blush in Ghost, and with my Morphe Y9 I'll be scrolling into all of the 4 colors, removing excess on the back of my hands and starting on the center of the cheeks and taking it upwards. Really, really gorgeous blush. This is just the perfect formula of blush that is just great. It looks amazing and it just lasts the whole day and it never looks too much. Now for some highlighter, I'll use this highlighter from Iconic London, and this is the original color. This is like literally mirror on your face. It's very, very shimmery. I've applied some on the back of my hands. If I show you, this is how it looks like. It's very, very reflective. So I'll take just a little bit on my fingers and start to tap that in. I also love this Iconic London on the décolletage. You know, once you've finished your makeup, it looks really, really lovely there. And also I'll be taking some on top of my brows just to give a little bit of illumination, and using my other finger, which is clean, just to blend out. And moving on to the lips, I'll take my favorite pinky lip liner. This is the Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk. It's the most perfect pinky nude. Going around the edges of the lips and just enhancing it a little bit more towards the center part of the lips, on the top part and on the bottom. It's also very, very waxy and glides on really easily, and it literally stays on for hours. And now going back with my Benefit Hoola bronzer, and this small brush from MAC, this is the 239. Use that to just blend around the edges of the lips. It can look a little bit more blurry. It will give it more of a natural look, but it also will help to make the lips look slightly bigger. Using a little bit of this Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the shade Light Medium, and this curvy brush number 70H from Shuamura. I'll take some on both sides of the brush to help give a sharper look to the lips. I prefer for this kind of look to use a full coverage concealer because it will help just make your life so much easier, and it will carve down the lips really, really quickly. And then going back with my concealer brush and literally blend away any excess concealer. And again, using one of my favorite products, and this is the Revlon liquid lipstick in the shade Embrace, and it's a gorgeous nudie pinky color. I mean, with this lip liner, this combination has to be my absolute favorite from probably all of my lipsticks. This liquid lipstick is just very comfortable, it smells really beautiful, and it's quite long lasting for how comfortable it is. Now to finish off, I'll take my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder and my Real Techniques contour brush, and start to apply it on the T-zone to just mattify the skin. And also take this powder and apply it underneath the contour and the blush, and that way it will just really help make the contour and blush slightly sharper, so it can look more defined too. And for the under eye powder, I'll be using this MAC Pro powder in the shade Accentuate, and literally use that to set the under eye. Then another one from MAC in the same line. This one is in Emphasize, and it's a white one with a little bit of sparkle, but it's very, very sheer, and this will just help to make the under eye look a little bit more glowy. So this is the finished look. I hope you like it, and please let me know in the comments below your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do, and give this video a thumbs up, and also press the notification bell so you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.